But you'll see here, for example, in this diagram, and you that have been with me for a while, you've seen this before. So this is a cosmology diagram. This one is a Hebrew cosmology diagram. Well, you see in the center, and like when I was in school, they used to tell us that ancient people believed that this was the way the universe was, that the earth was here in the center and everything else is revolving around the universe. Initiates, people who had been exposed to things like the ability to read and write and had this information passed down to them, none of them ever thought that. Yes, you may have had some common people that believe that, the sun revolved around the earth, just like you've got people right now that take this stuff so literally that they're literally waiting on Jesus to come floating out of the clouds and suck them up into space, or that believe, that a talking snake led to the fall of mankind. You're always going to have like the uninitiated who take things literally like that. And that's just the level of understanding that they're at. Everybody advances beyond that in their own timing. The same way with this. The earth in the center, that represents your physical body. All of these other levels that correspond to planets, like here you've got the moon, and then you've got Venus, and then you've got Mercury, and then you've got the sun, and it goes all the way up until you reach to Saturn. What we call, some of these things are not technically planets, like the sun and the moon. Those are not technically planets, but they're referred to in magic as the 7 classical planets, the planetary energies. Those are levels or layers of your aura. That's what this is. It's a map of you. This is a map of your soul, a map of your aura. Well, then that would mean, you see here, Leviathan. Leviathan comes in between. And this is also why I tell people that I have found this map, the cosmology map, to be far more beneficial to me in my own practice than the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life is also a map. Part of the reason you see here, you have the Ouroboros, or Leviathan. You see, they even call him Leviathan. In between Saturn and this ring, which has the zodiacal symbols on it. Well, that's the abyss. Between Saturn, the planetary energies, and the zodiacal energies is the abyss. Leviathan is in you. So when we're talking about, and I'm going to be telling you a crazy ass story in a minute, but when we're talking about ascension, when I say, for example, you're ascending up through these levels of reality until you hit such and such, that's just a way of speaking to describe a process that I don't have any other way of describing other than saying you're going up, you're ascending, you're raising your vibration, however you want to call it. Leviathan is something that is within your aura. It's not something out there somewhere. It's something that is within you. It's like a program. Like if you are a computer, Leviathan or Choronzon is the program that causes you to reincarnate. It also prevents you from reaching these higher levels of reality, activating further levels of your soul or your aura until you master it, until you have transcended it. So I don't know. There's a lot of stories about where this came from, why this is there, how this happened. And to be honest, I don't know. I don't know who or what put it in you. If, there are those like in Gnosticism that say it was done deliberately, that it was done deliberately to imprison people in this level of reality. Maybe it was. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone doing it. I haven't come in contact with anything like that. Maybe it's something that just develops within us naturally, the same way your heart and your lungs and your liver develop in your physical body as you form in your mother's womb and then are born into the world and keep growing. I don't know. All I know is it is there. It is possible to come in contact with it, and it is possible to see how this works for yourself. But you see, one thing I want to bring up is the 7 planets. There's the earth, and that's when you're working with the lesser pentagram ritual. You're working with the energies of earth, air, fire, and water. From there, you advance to the next level of practice, which is working with the hexagrams, and that's when you're activating these levels. Well, there's 7 of them, right? This is a photo of an engraving from a tombstone of an initiate. You see the Ouroboros, and you see the stars. Remember, when we do magic, we are attempting to break the chains which bind us to the stars. It's not talking about those stars up there. It's talking about these programs within us, these things that we call planetary energies that I told you aren't necessarily planetary energies, like the sun and the moon, blah, blah, blah. Those are also called stars in the Bible. Well, you see there's 7 of them here, 7 stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are the 7 levels or layers of your aura inside that final layer of the Ouroboros before you cross the abyss. You'll see it also, and this is something you can look up in tons of places. This is one of my favorite images. This is an old alchemy image that shows the same thing. The levels of your aura, your soul, surrounded by the Ouroboros with the dove descending. What the dove represents is that energy of enlightenment that allows you, the dove is enlightenment. It is the transcension of the Ouroboros. So what you're seeing here, you see he's not biting his tail. It's broken by the dove. There's been a gap made in it, a broken spot so that you can get out. This is an old, and again, just like the dove representing enlightenment and transcending the Ouroboros. Here, once again, same thing. The dove represents being able to transcend the system. This is an old Greek version of the Ouroboros. And I'm just showing you all these things because we're going to be talking about them in just a second when I read you these scriptures. Let me find. I'm going to start with this one here. In 1 second to find these scriptures. So this is from a coat of arms from an initiate's family. This stuff, there are families who have passed this information. There are orders, there are lodges, there are groups. Sometimes this stuff is passed down through families. Well, this is a family coat of arms that shows the Ouroboros. And you see the words around it. It says Victrix Fortunae Sapientia. What that means in Latin is wisdom is the conqueror of fortune. But wisdom, the word they translate as wisdom into English, also means skilled practice. So skilled practice is the conqueror of fortune. What is fortune? Fortune is another word for like destiny or fate. Skilled practice allows you to transcend your fate or your destiny or think of it as a lack of free will. Skilled practice is how you transcend the Ouroboros.